and building. But hold your horses. We are talking about landscaping. As you can see where I'm standing right now, the beauty of the compound is beautiful. You know, I cannot even be able to explain it. And to help me with this meaningful discussion is James Mwangi. He is the CEO of J&M Building and Construction Company. He'll be helping us understand what landscaping is all about. So if you have any question, please go on all our social media platforms at DGTV Kenya and drop your question and drop your comment. So without wasting any more time, please, let's get it rolling. So when people hear about a building and construction, they think it's about, you know, building only. Yeah. So you can probably shed more light on what is landscaping. Let's start from there. As you can see, guys, we have a piece of work behind us. This is part of landscaping. So from an expert's point of view, what is landscaping? Okay, maybe I can explain it in different terms. Okay, you find that there is building and there is landscaping. So in building, you find that it's about structures and office spaces, but in landscaping, that is outdoor activities, such as lawns, terraces, and many more. But it mainly consists of the outside part of the structure. So yeah. It mainly consists of the outside part of the structure. Yes. So probably during the show, you'll show us the outside structure that you're talking about. Yeah. So when it comes to studying landscaping, yeah, where do you begin from? Let's start from high school. What qualifications yeah, should you have for you to enroll in landscaping? Okay, landscaping is, okay, when you do landscaping architecture, that requires you to have subjects such as physics, mathematics, and some languages. So it's like studying medicine because it requires an A, but you should pass in mathematics and in physics. But in the Kenyan universities, they mainly deal with landscape architecture. That is planning and drawing, but not coming into the ground. Into the ground, you need to have the skilled personnel, which now you come to us and we lay out the plan now, according to how the architecture has drawn the project. Yeah. So you're saying that at the university or at the college, you're only offered the architecture part. This means they're drawing the concept. Yeah, mainly. But the practicalities are not there. No, maybe the theory part and the drawing, but the theory, the skills, the practicality of it, I think now you have to come to the skilled laborers in the field. Yeah, that's where you now find us now. Yeah. So universities are not offering the practicals at all? No, because even if you look at their course outline, you won't find things such as this. So mainly I think they are only offering the theory and the small drawings, but not the detailed part of the landscaping. Yeah. So when you say that if someone wants to learn the practical, they should consult you. Yeah. What do you mean? Like, do you have a curriculum yourself? Do you have a school yourself? Or how do you go about that? Okay, usually we go to sites. Maybe a person wants to know about landscaping. You just come to our sites, and you know you'll have an advantage because we'll still pay you as we show you how you go around with the landscaping. So mainly you come to us and we show you the practical part. And give you the skills that you need. So this person does not need to pay you anything? No, we don't charge anything. Especially the youths. Yeah, we want to encourage them and show them that there is no employment in our country, but there are so many things that you can do. Just think outside the box, and you'll find that at the end of the day, you get something in your pocket. Yeah. So let me go back a little bit to what you say, that landscaping is about the outside of the house. Yeah. And you talked about other things. So specifically, what is it really about? What are you doing outside the house per se? Okay, maybe you have driveways whereby we usually put the cabros, as you can see at the front of us. We use cabros, but we have to demarcate where we need to have lawn gardens, the rock gardens, where maybe the client wants to put the waterfall, the fountains.
So basically, you need to have the sketch plan of how the owner wants the outside to be. Then we come in, and we tell the client maybe we can change something here or there, so that at least at the end of the day, the client is happy and we are also happy. Yeah.
So in a language that most people can understand, can we say landscaping is kind of beautifying someone's compound?
Maybe in a layman's language you can say, but you know, many people think landscaping is planting the flowers and then, but there is so much more. But in a layman's language, you can say it's planting grass, the flowers, and then we do some few beautifications. If you see those pathways, you can see we have put mazeras. Yeah, because as a landscaper, you should have ideas. You should be someone that comes up with ideas and be natural and simplicity.
Yeah. Be natural and simplicity.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what is the relationship between construction and landscaping?
Okay, construction, most people think that construction is building the houses, but in landscaping we also use construction, because when you look at these flower gardens, we have used stones, we have built with stones, so that you can come and beautify at the outside part. So construction and landscaping, in some way they go hand in hand, because even the things that you are using in landscaping, most of them are used in the construction industry. So construction and landscaping, at some point they come together. Yeah.
Okay, so what about the marketability? For example, here in Kenya, how is the market? Because you've been there for how many years?
I have been there almost 5 years.
Okay. So how would you rate its marketability?
Okay, it's market. You know, most people do not know about landscaping, so it has not yet spread around the country. So its market is still, I can say, infant, because most people do not know about what landscaping is. And because when you are doing your marketing, when you tell a client about landscaping, he can ask you, what are you telling me? Because I remember there is a certain time I showed a client the pictures, and he said, these are things that should be in Runda, and so on and so forth. But I told him, no, these are things that you can also do with your budget. As long as you plan your budget very well, we can do something for you and you'll be happy at the end of the day. So in terms of marketability, it's still not spread. Yeah.
People still don't know about landscaping.
Yeah.
So when you say that this is something that cannot only be done in Runda, that a normal person, when I say a normal person, I mean affordability.
Yeah.
That someone can be able to afford. So how much are we really talking about? Let's say, for example, the basics of landscaping. How much will that cost someone?
Okay, in terms of the cost, maybe I might not tell you the actual amount, because when we go to your field, maybe you don't know what the client wants, because other clients may say that I only need the flowers and what, but when you show them the pictures, they say, we can do this, we can do this. So at the end of the day, you'll find that the budget that he or she had planned, maybe it will surpass, it might surpass. So it requires you to go to the field and explain to the client, here we can do this, here we can do this, so that you can see if the amount can really do the work or not. But at the end of the day, we will make sure that we do even if it's small, we do something good and something that is affordable to the client. So in terms of cost, it's not constant.
It depends.
It depends with the type of work that the client wants. Yeah.
So what about the simple as just planting grass and flowers? How much would that cost?
Okay, now it depends with the size of the
depends.
Yeah, because maybe your compound is not like this. Maybe you want an acre to be planted grass. So the cost it will depend with the size. Let's say the size of the compound and the type of flowers that you want.
Because around 50,000, can I get something?
Yeah, you can get something, something nice, something simple.
Okay.
So you should not worry about prices.
Okay, so it is very affordable. Anyone can actually afford it.
Yes.
Depending on what you want and your compound, the size of your compound.
Yeah, and even the type of the buildings that are around the compound.
So as a landscaper, you said that you've been here for 5 years. So what are those challenges that you're facing? You say that one of them is marketability, and people are really not aware of what landscaping is really all about.
Yeah.
But what are some other challenges that you face in this industry?
Okay, you might go to a compound and you find that the slopes, the type of soil that is there. Okay, you might go and pest and even pest, because you might plant the grass, but there are pests that infest the plants and even the flowers. So you need, at the back of my mind, you should know that this type of pest, you should use this type of herbicide to protect the plants and the flowers and the grasses. Another thing is about language barrier, because you might go to a rural place, maybe your language and their language, it's difficult to communicate. So you need also to bring in a person who can interpret. And in terms of bargaining, interpreting something is so hard, because in bargaining you need to be one-on-one. So that is another challenge that we face. And even in terms of cost, the cost of doing the work, because you might find that some materials you cannot find them in where the site is, so you have to source it from another place. So like when I was in Kilifi, there were some materials that I had to come to Nakuru or Nairobi so that you can take them there. You see now the transportation cost, time. So you find those are the main challenges that we face in this field. Yeah.
So those materials that you're talking about, are they only found in Kenya? Are there some that you actually need to import?
No, basically most of them are found in Kenya, because when you are doing this work, you also need to get something at the end of the day. So when you start sourcing from outside, that might be so costly. And the owner, when you agree with the owner, this is the budget or this is the quotation. So telling them that you need to add more funds, it might not go well with the client. So most of the time we try as much as possible to source these materials from within the country. But most of them we get them from Nakuru and Nairobi. Yeah.
Okay. So which specific materials are the ones that you use most to landscape?
Okay, when you are doing the waterfalls and the fountains, there's something that we call fiber, acrylic fiber, which is used to mold these stones that you see. They look like the rocks, but we usually mold them with molders so that you can come up with something like that. So, and we have things that harden the material so that it can be as hard as a rock. We have paints. There are some paints that we use, paints that are waterproof, sunlight proof. So those are some of the materials that we use. And now the flowers, so those you can just source within the area. Yeah.
Wow, beautiful. And I think also another interesting question that most people would ask, is this more of a talent? Because if I can see especially the work that is behind us, it's very well done. So is it more of a talent, or it's something that, as you say, there are no practicals that are taught in school? You have to follow up with someone like you who is experienced for you to learn. So is this something that is more of a talent? By this I mean it comes just naturally.
In a career, if you are so passionate about your career, you can be doing research and things like that. So maybe it's a talent somehow, but you need also to do your research so that each and every time you come up with something that is new in the market, and you bring something that is good to your clients. So it's something that what I can say, landscaping, you need to have the passion. You need to have the passion and be someone who has ideas. You come up with the ideas. So that's why I'm telling you, you also need to do your research very well before you do something. Because most clients have passed somewhere and seen something like that, but when I come to do it, I need to do a little bit different from the one that he or she saw, so that even if a client comes, he'll see some few changes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you also maybe done some research about our surrounding countries, East Africa or even abroad? How are things done on the other side?
Okay, most I think I follow. There is a company called Landscaping Company. It's based in Florida, USA. So I usually follow their nini. They have classes. They have, but they are practical classes.
Wow.
And they do it in the field because their instructor comes maybe here and they say we want to build a waterfall, and this waterfall should take at least 3 or 4 days. And they start working. So you have to follow up everything that they do. Some things are so simple, but at the end of it, it comes out like something that has never been seen. So I usually follow their classes, and I can say they are good, and they give me new ideas each and every day. Yeah.
Okay. So do you feel like, as an expert, do you feel like now there is a gap in Kenya? Like schools need to offer practicals, or even these colleges, they need to come in and see this gap, this landscaping gap, and offer it as a course, and also focus on the practical bit of it.
Yeah, maybe the TVETs and the colleges, they can come in and bring this course as in the practical part, because it can help so many youths. Instead of going to university and do a theory part, when you come to the field, you know nothing. So I think the TVETs, because they do practical skills, they can come in and do the landscaping part and educate so many young Kenyans, because it's the field that is untouched.
It is a growing field,
Yeah,
and it has the potential.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think also what would probably make a good landscaper, apart from now acquiring the skills that you really need, what are some other, personalities that make a really, really good landscaper? Okay,
you should be passionate, simple, and courteous, because one thing you should know that when a landscaper comes into your compound, this person is going to be in your compound for even months. So this person should be able to communicate well with your family members. So a landscaper should be someone who is able to talk to everyone. Because like here, the client is already living here, and maybe you need to do something there, the children are here, so you should be able to communicate with each and everyone. And at the end of the day, you are able to do your work. But you should also be simple, and as I told you, be someone who is idealistic, so that at the end of the day you give the client is satisfied and you are also satisfied. Yeah, so the communication skills should be quite good. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine just convincing someone that I need to do this in your compound.
Yeah.
And also spending some quality time in their compound as well.
Especially if you find that the client is already living in the house. So he'll wonder, because he did his budget and now he's living in the house. So convincing him or her to start doing this beautification and so, it might be quite hard, but others understand and you do the job. Yeah.
So before we go on a very short commercial break, you talked about landscaping being an outside job. Is there a part of it that it is done inside the house?
Yeah. Okay, we have cladding of the chimneys, because in most kitchens where we have fireplaces, we have the chimney, and we usually do cladding with mazeras. I think I'll show you some with mazeras. Then we have, in our company we also do gypsums, and even we flower pots at the balcony, because if you look at the balcony, we have some flowers, and so you need to have a landscaper that knows which plant or flower does well at the balconies, because that is part of the house. It's not outside. Yeah.
So landscaping can actually be done inside the house and also outside the house.
Yeah, depending on how the house is or how the client wants. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much for that. So I think right now we are going to go on a very, very short commercial break. My name is Kawera Rose. This is Career Talk. I have James Mwangi with me today. He is the CEO of J&M Building and Construction Company, but he has specialized in landscaping. So if you have any questions or comments in regard to this topic, please feel free to go on all our social media platforms at DGTV Kenya and drop it right there. So please don't go any further. We'll be right back.